Last year, you went on a pretty prolific run of dropping projects.
Yeah, well,
Two years.
It was really like,
it was 2 years.
2024 or 2023, 2024. It was very much like,
It was a tape.
Was it every month?
Yeah,
Yeah,
24 months.
tapes consecutively.
You know, like that is something that is for anybody. Just the process of going to the studio, song structure, having that much inspiration to write, the beat clearances, the agreements, the side agreement. I mean, my goodness, bro.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. It was definitely a lot of work, but it was invigorating. It's almost like I needed it. Like, you know, some people, he one of them people now, wake up early as shit to go run.
Right.
Even when you don't feel like going to run.
Right.
It was like that for me.
Like that was instead of exercising, you were like, I gotta.
Yeah, well, it was what Jay-Z called it on a lyrical exercise.
Okay, yeah.
So for me, I don't record the way I used to record when I was younger. I used to record hundreds of songs, and then you got a hard drive, got 100 songs on it. And when it's time to put a mixtape out, I go in and record 30 songs, pick 15 of those songs. Now I got 115 songs on the hard drive. So at some point, I just said, fuck that, I can't really rock with this. I can't keep doing this. And after Piff passed, my head was all over the place. So I sat down one day, and when I started, it was in January, as a matter of fact. When I started recording, I caught myself trying to like format the song. And I was like, all right, okay, I got what I want to say in the verse, how I want to do the hook. And I was just like, man, fuck it. Piff didn't care. He didn't care about if it had a hook or what. He was in there with other people in the booth with him. So I'm like, maybe me thinking this hard about it ain't as constructive as I once thought it was. So I just went in and just, it was free flowing. And from that, since I don't record every day like I used to, was January, how many days is January? 31?
31, I believe.
Yeah,
I was born in January, so I should know.
Well, the tape, whatever day the tape came out, I want to say it was the last Friday of January is when the first tape was released, and all the records were recorded that same week. They were recorded a couple days before I
So it was like kind of like a real-time thing.
Every tape
Every
was
time.
Every tape.
Every 24 times. He's a psycho.
Man, we was I was in New York when he discovered this. I was in New York. It was October, as a matter of fact. I want to say when in October. Yeah, I'm in New York. It's October, and he hit me. And he was like, "Man, what's the end goal? What's the plan when you do your December tape?"
This was the first year. This is 23.
Right. Initially, we intended to do Step Brothers 4 right after the
And the
12th
2023, yeah. Going into the beginning of the next,
Yeah, but see, after the 12th tape, I don't know. Well, part of why I went for 12 more is a comment I kept seeing. It was recurring. You would get one person or a few people would praise me for having 12 consecutive tapes.
right?
And then you got the people they got to come and say that Currency did it and Papoose did it.
Papoose did it, yeah.
I said, you know what? I'm sick of it, and I'm aware enough to understand that a lot of the times they just be baiting you, because what people wanted was for me to be like, well, fuck Currency. This ain't about Currency.
Yeah.
But all that does is create a rift between me and Currency, because that had nothing to do with Currency.
Right.
So I said, all right, you know what? Let's see if you can still say that after I do it 12 more times. And while we was having this conversation, Craig said, okay, I think in that conversation I was telling him I got to get our engineer on the phone because I can't get this equipment to work. This is the last week of October, or the last week with a Friday.
Okay.
So he was like, "Oh, well, shit, how much you got?" I was like, "Nothing." He was like, "What?" I said, "I don't have a single song." He said, "You can't be serious." I'm like, "Man,
dropping Friday. It's like Tuesday.
Wait. So it's Tuesday, and you would plan on dropping an album that hasn't even been recorded.
None
Yeah,
whatsoever.
he's telling me he needs a verse from me. I'm like, cool. How much you got done? And he's like, nothing. I don't have a single song.
So this is on
I
a
didn't
Tuesday.
have a beat. I didn't have a song. I didn't
Who's
have
your
anything.
distributor?
Connect Music Group.
Okay, so
That's right. Connect Music Group, right? Okay, well, it's just Connect.
Connect Music.
So you guys, this is crazy. So you record this
Listen,
the October album in 2 days, 3 days.
2 or 3 days. Well, about 2 days because it got to be turned in Thursday morning.
Do you record yourself at the very least to make your life easier? Okay, thank God. Because if you had
Well, that does not make my life easier because I'm recording at home with 8 kids. So not
Shut
so
the
much.
fuck up.
Well, no.
Trust me, I record my radio show at home sometimes. I'll be in my fucking office and the kids got the dogs going crazy in the living room. And I'm like, will you guys shut the fuck up?
Well, for me, what I did was what Piff would have did. Some of my songs,
Got
like
your
if you
kids in
really
the back.
listen,
Yes.
you'll hear my
Okay.
kids
I
in the
respect it.
background.
Yeah.
But I sat down with my distributor for the first tape, and I told him I had planned to do like 12 straight, and they said what anybody would have said. They was like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
that's
Let's do
cute.
it.
Yeah, good. Sure.
And then 3 tapes in, they was like, okay, all right. And then we got to like tape 5 or 6, and they was like, okay, it's time to sit down. We got let's figure this out.
Let's
a little
work
bit
this
more,
music.
because you dead ass serious, and they really helped become a partner in that to help me streamline it along, because me being able to record it is just one part. Us being able to come up with a game plan immediately after it's recorded, or sometimes while it's being recorded, that was the contributing factor. Because it's a 2-part thing. Me recording and it being released. It being released is the most important part of this.
Right.
So with that, like I said, I recorded every tape the same way. I didn't do it on purpose. In real time, I spent, the first 3 weeks I spent with my family.
And then the last week.
The last week, him.
So in the fourth quarter, you start from scratch.
Yeah, every time. My engineer said I should name my record label Last Minute Records. But, my guy hit me and he was like, man, how we looking? We
For Step Brothers 4.
He's with Connect. So he hit me and he asked, how we looking? We're trying to upload. This might be Monday when he asked this. And I give him the same dope boy lie every time he calls me. I'm like, yeah.
It's on the way.
It's getting mixed and mastered right now.
Meanwhile, there's nothing.
There's nothing there. It's invisible. It don't even exist. But by the time, once I get it wrapped, that's the other thing. I don't know if they, you never really know when people are tuned in. But that's Kevin Zulieta. I hope I say your name right, known you forever, but you can't say it right. So Kevin Zulieta was my mixing engineer. Mm-hmm. He been my engineer since 2010. He's recorded every record I've done, or recorded and mixed, except for the records I've done recorded myself.
Right.
But he had to mix all those too. And Kevin Nix stood in and mixed 24 projects straight. Mastered 24 projects straight. And like I said, that was it was a true team effort. I get through dropping vocals and I send it to my mixing engineer. He sent it back to me. We approve, and then we send it to mastering, and then from there we get it to distribution. And
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
With that whole process, and we were talking about downtimes, down periods. That process, like witnessing that, was like. Ultimately, it was very, very inspiring for me. I was in that same time when he said when his distributor started to take it serious, and like, all right, let's get some structure to this and see, take it further. Simultaneously, I was going through like the worst writer's block. I wanted to snap out of it and get back in the mix. And we had conversations like, I just asked, like, how are you doing this? I think I may have at max released 5 or 6 projects in a calendar year. And that
Which
was
is still
like
impressive.
Living and breathing rap music. So I'm like, monthly, this is crazy. I'm like, how are you able to do this? I can't put 4 bars together right now. And he's like, you're thinking too hard. Some of the same things he said. But when you asked earlier about the independent thing, I would share that as an indie, you have to be willing to work and do the work. There's no shortcut. There's no sidestepping because it's on you primarily. That's what you're asking for. It's what you're signing up for, to do that willingly. And 2, you have to have a plan. It has to be about executing a plan. So to hear on the front end, I'm gonna do this. The main ingredient was he put the work in.
Execution.
Even if it was 2 or 3 days at a time.
It's all about
for a
execution,
week.
man.
It was just like seeing that, and that candid conversation we had in the first, early on in this process helped get me out of that rut. I wrote a song called Writer's Block on the back end of us having that conversation. I'm like, man, I'm having writer's block. He was like, I think your audience would like to hear you talk about that. You should write a song about having writer's block.
For sure.
And I was like, wow, it was just like...
Y'all so transparent with your lives, man. That's important.
Sure. Yeah. And it ended up being the intro to my next solo project. And like you said, toward the end of the year, I'm like, all right, I'm dropping in December. And
now
when you
what?
drop number 12, and then let's lock in on Step Brothers 4. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm about to do it again. I'm about to do 13 through 24.
He's like, I have to prove these comments wrong.
And I was like,
I had to
okay.
shut him up, man.
So for everybody out there, he's
the reason why. Yeah,
he's due for one of those years of the delay between Step Brothers 3 and 4, but that was a blessing too.